All right, the PGA Tour returns to Trump Doral down in South Florida this week. And guys, the name Trump really becoming a player in the world of golf. He's getting a few majors. He's got the U.S. Women's Open coming to New Jersey, the Senior PGA going to D.C., and of course the 2022 PGA Championship coming back to New Jersey as well. What do you think? Donald Trump, good for the game of golf?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I think, whatever you think of his politics, he's a shot in the arm to golf, to a sport that I think really needs it. I mean, when you talk about even something like he bought Turnberry, the sort of storied British Open venue, and there's a lighthouse there. He's like, I'm going to turn that into the halfway house. I mean, why not? It's a lighthouse there. I mean, I think that he's looking at golf from a perspective where he's saying, hey, I want to bring this sort of showmanship, this flair that he's done in his casinos and his buildings to golf, and I think the game needs that sometime.
I guess, Josh, when you think about Trump, the one thing you respect is he really does seem to be a fan of the game. He plays a ton of golf, and he's pretty darn good from what we've seen from his shows over the years. But his interest in the game seems sincere, doesn't it?
No doubt. And when you think about it, he's one of really two major players who's investing, who's putting his money where his mouth is when it comes to golf. And Mike Kaiser, who's developing Van Dunes. Trump's the other guy who's really, as Mike said, giving the game a shot in the arm. And as much as it may pain some of the genteel quarters of the game to hear the name Trump, it's not like he's, erecting crazy waterfalls in the first tee in front of all these tournament venues. The courses he's investing in are turning out to be really high-quality championship venues.
And, he's kind of gone through the process. He courted the USGA quite a bit, switched gears and kind of started courting the PGA. It seems like the one he really wants is a U.S. Open, maybe at his new course at Ferry Point in New York. You think that happens, Mike? Do you think he eventually gets a U.S. Open at one of his courses?
I mean, I think when he gets with the courses, like you mentioned, Ferry Point, you have a public access course, right on the shores of the East River with great views. I mean, I think that's the kind of course that would get a major. I do think when you've gone into the, now that he's with the PGA now, there is a little bit of a PGA U.S. Open rivalry where that could affect it. I think at the end of the day, he wants a major. But when you talk about what Trump's done in golf, I think one of the things that gets kind of overlooked is, last year there was a real push that golf was dying and we needed to try these gimmicky ideas to sort of bring it back, whether it's like foot golf where you play soccer balls or giant holes. And Trump, I think there was a lot of groupthink going on, and Trump said, no, wait a minute. People like golf the way it is. Golfers like the game the way it is. Nobody wants to putt into 14. And now I know Josh putted the giant holes, so maybe he can tell us it's different. But I thought it was he kind of went against the grain, and now all that stuff's gone, and people are back to, no, this is golf, and let's keep it the way it is.
Josh, what do you think? Do you think his brash style hurts him, helps him with, a lot of conservative guys from the USGA, where he really wants this U.S. Open, but he's out there telling, I have the best golf course in the world, whether it's Doral or National in Westchester or in D.C. Does it help? Does it hurt him?
There's that saying about any publicity being good publicity. I think that helps Trump in a lot of cases, but there's no doubt that he ruffles feathers when the U.S. Open played out at Pinehurst. You might remember Trump saying that he blasted what he thought was the awful look of the browned out waist areas, the sort of firm and fast look of Pinehurst. And that's really what the USGA is going for these days in the U.S. Open. So there was Trump publicly blasting a venue that had been set up specifically by the USGA, obviously, to showcase that throwback look they're going for at the Open. So in that case, that didn't help him, didn't do him any favors.
Right. And he's getting a few majors. He could get one more. As you mentioned, Mike, he bought Turnberry, which could be back in the British Open rotation in the years to come. We'll be keeping an eye. Donald Trump on the golf circuit.